Michael Bublé's stunning dig at Harry and Meghan sends shockwaves through Invictus Games crowd. It was supposed to be a night of celebration, a moment to honor the brave veterans who have sacrificed so much. Instead, the 2025 Invictus Games in Vancouver became the backdrop for a moment of biting irony, one that left Prince Harry and Meghan Markle visibly shaken, social media ablaze, and Michael Bublé at the center of a storm. Bublé's brutal jab at the Sussexes. Under the bright lights of the stage, Michael Bublé, known for his smooth voice and effortless charm, paused mid-performance. With a twinkle in his eye and a smirk on his face, he delivered a comment that no one expected, one that seemed to slice straight through the air and land squarely on Harry and Meghan. You know, I've always admired people who earn their money honestly and spend it wisely. Not sure that's a universal trait these days, though. The crowd erupted into laughter, cheers rippling through the venue like a wave. The implication was crystal clear. The camera panned to the royal couple. Meghan, sipping what was reportedly an exorbitantly priced cocktail, forced a smile, but it faltered. Her perfectly curated expression of grace and poise cracked for just a second. Harry, seated beside her, stiffened, his jaw tightening. He knew exactly what had just happened, but the audience, they loved it. Viral social media frenzy. The moment was captured on video and immediately exploded across social media. Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok were flooded with clips of the remark, paired with captions that made no effort to hide their glee. Bublé just said what we've all been thinking. Invictus Games for the veterans, not for the self-absorbed freeloaders. How long before Meghan issues a statement about being hurt and disappointed? Hashtags like hashtag bubbleburn, hashtag Invictus or influence, and hashtag Sussex Scam trended within hours. The backlash wasn't new. Harry and Meghan's presence at the Invictus Games had long been a point of contention. Their critics argue that their lavish lifestyle is a stark contrast to the struggles of the wounded veterans the event is meant to support. And Bublé's remark? It only reinforced what many have been saying for years. The ongoing criticism of Harry and Meghan. This moment wasn't an isolated one. For years, critics have accused Harry and Meghan of using the Invictus Games as just another platform for self-promotion. Since Meghan began attending, the focus has seemed to shift from the veterans to her wardrobe, her carefully staged appearances, and her networking opportunities. Gone were the headlines about the competitors' incredible resilience. Instead, the media was inundated with analysis of Meghan's outfits, her body language, and her every calculated move. And now, with Bublé's remark, many saw it as further proof. Harry and Meghan don't belong here. They keep claiming they're all about service, yet everything they do screams, "Look at me," instead of "look at them," one commentator remarked on a morning talk show. But this criticism extends beyond their personal conduct, because the funding of the Invictus Games itself has also come under scrutiny. The dark side of the Invictus Games finances. For an event designed to celebrate and support wounded veterans, there's been increasing concern over where the money is actually going. Reports have emerged suggesting that a significant portion of the funding isn't reaching the veterans directly. Instead, expenses have soared for luxury accommodations, high-profile celebrity appearances, and, yes, VIP treatment for people like Harry and Meghan. Imagine being an injured soldier, struggling with PTSD, and seeing millions spent on first-class flights and five-star hotels for a couple who already have everything, one veteran tweeted. The sentiment was echoed by many. Some are even calling for a financial audit of the event's expenditures, demanding transparency on how much is being spent on veterans versus high-profile attendees. And as if to pour salt on the wound, Michael Bublé's next move only deepened the irony. A song that said it all. Immediately after delivering his biting remark, Bublé launched into a performance of Put Your Heels On, a song associated with indulgence, high fashion, and luxury. The choice was no accident. Oh, he knew exactly what he was doing, a journalist tweeted. That song was a giant middle finger to Meghan and her expensive heels at an event that's supposed to be about wounded soldiers. The audience seemed to get the message, too. They cheered, clapped, and swayed along to the music, while the Sussexes remained seated, their expressions unreadable. It was a moment that underscored everything their critics had been saying about privilege, misplaced priorities, and a disconnect from the people they claim to advocate for. What comes next? With the backlash mounting, royal experts are already predicting what's next. Will Meghan play the victim card? Will Harry release another statement about how difficult it is to be in the public eye? Will they attempt to shift the narrative with another carefully crafted PR move? Or, perhaps most unlikely of all, will they actually reflect on why this criticism continues to follow them wherever they go? One thing is certain. Michael Bublé's comment wasn't just a passing joke. It was a moment that captured a growing frustration, a stark reminder of the ever-widening gap between public perception and the Sussexes' reality. And no matter how many expensive cocktails they sip or how many stage smiles they put on, the world is watching, and they're not buying the act.